Hi, I'm Dr. Jan Jaffer, and this is Got Teeth, a patient-centric monthly podcast featuring local health experts. Hi, so today I'm talking with Brandi Wilson, who is the owner of Metta Yoga Calgary. Thanks, Brandi, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So we want to talk a little bit about overall health and flexibility and things that we can do. And so, I know when people hear yoga, they're like, oh, that's for, a certain group of people loves to do yoga. And I know, I used to do some, I haven't been doing it for a while, but, is there a type of person that should be doing yoga?
Everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So explain that to me. So yoga can help anybody.
It can. And I think the biggest thing is there is a stigma around yoga that you have to be a certain body type to do yoga, but you just have to have a body to do yoga. Okay. It's for everybody. There's so many different types of yoga in the world and in your community, in your city, that you might try one type and it might not be for you. You try another type, but there is something out there for everybody. The benefits are limitless. We can go into it. But I think that the major hurdle for many people is they feel like they don't have enough length in their hamstrings, or they're too stiff in their low back, or whatever the limitation that they might think they have is. But that's what yoga is. Yoga is there to help them through that, get there, and again, it's for everybody.
So let's do that. Let's talk about the benefits, because I think that's always a good place to start. And then how do you get yourself down to do it? And I think one of the things that I've always found interesting about yoga is it's not just physical, but there's a mental component to it as well, which I think is really interesting for a lot of people, because a lot of other, sports or activities that you do, there's the mental benefit, but it's almost secondary to the physical benefit. Whereas with yoga, I feel like you almost focus on both simultaneously.
Totally, yeah. The physical and mental benefits are there. And I think there's a lot of people that a majority of the population come to yoga for the physical benefits and organically receive the mental and spiritual benefits. But mostly it comes together for most people. I think that the physical benefits, again, even if you are limited in your body, you're going to find space. You're going to find something that gives you a removal of congestion, healthy joints, skin. The physical benefits, like I said, are limitless. And then because we're in such a go, A-type driven personality world and busy through the days, even people who can just give themselves that 45 minutes, 15 minutes, hour of yoga to calm the mind, even if it's just for 30 seconds within that time, they benefit. The mind benefits, especially the nervous system, giving us time to just step back and move more into a state of ease and rest and digest instead of go and fight, flight, freeze all the time.
So that's another interesting thing, and I think one of the things that we've started talking about a little bit more about is like breath and breathing and understanding, and I think kind of getting the body to relax and really kind of getting our mind to relax. A lot of that comes from slowing down, but also some of the breathing stuff that you guys will do as well, and just learning how to take good breath.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like a majority of the population lives in high chest breath. We're living in just like constant, not only a high fast-paced breath, but totally unaware of our breath as we go along through our day and through our life. And then just being able, again, even just for a moment, to slow down and focus on your breath taps into your parasympathetic nervous system. The benefits of the vagus nerve. We can go into so many different things. There's even so much research out there now, like scientific proof of how much your breath impacts your health and longevity. And again, if you can come to a yoga class or do yoga at home, or even just something that slows you down for a moment, gets you focusing on your breath, using your diaphragm, using the full capacity of your lungs, the nervous system responds immediately, and I think it puts everybody into a state of okay, we're okay.
yeah, we get to breathe, right?
Yes.
I'm trying that with my kids even, because they get excited sometimes, and you're like, and they don't know how to let out their emotions sometimes, right. And so when you can slow that breath down, it gets everybody into a let's have a conversation versus just getting too excited or angry almost.
Absolutely.
In terms of figuring that out.
Yeah.
So let's pretend I'm interested in yoga. I haven't done it for a few years. It's definitely been a little bit. Brandilyn has been, trying to get me into doing stuff like this. Where do I start?
Find a studio and just try a class. And if a studio isn't an accessible option, you only have a few moments in your day, find a YouTube channel, find a podcast that's offering maybe a few minutes of yoga that just is going to guide you through some movement. I'm always a proponent of 5 to 10 minutes is better than no minutes of movement and self-realization and awareness and grounding and all of the things that come along with even just that short period. But there's so many, the great thing about being in Calgary is there's so many amazing yoga studios. And again, like I mentioned off the top, there's something for everybody. So, don't be afraid. I think that's the biggest thing, is there is a big hurdle of not only thinking that you have to have a certain body to try yoga, but just sometimes people are fearful of just stepping into a studio. They don't know what to expect. And similar to even going to a gym, it can be very intimidating for a lot of people. I think it's just a matter of you got to try a class. Whether it's hot yoga or regular yoga, restorative yoga, power yoga, there's so many varieties out there. It's just a matter of giving it a shot.
And I would think most places have intro or like just kind of more like they have different levels of classes where you can just ask people, hey, ask the people that are answering the phone or that you're emailing, hey, what's a good place to start?
Absolutely.
Because I think it is. I think that's always the first step is always the biggest challenge, right? Get through that door. What are people going to look at me like if I can't do any of these things?
Totally. Yeah. And most studios will have an intro week or 2 weeks. Most studios now have an intro month, and that's the best way to start because there's always that different variety of class types. So always get the information and see what class you can try. And one of the big things that I always try to emphasize for people is no one's watching you. Even though you're in a community, a group fitness setting, it's a very personal practice. No one's watching you, no one's judging. The teacher usually will ensure that you're not going to hurt yourself. If you are new, they know. And I think that's the biggest thing is just you're not being graded. You're not gonna get kicked out of the room for not being able to touch your toes.
Yeah, and I think again, even just doing stuff at home, right? Starting small, finding something online. Just stretching in a general situation is just so important. I know being in the dental world, we get really tight. We're in the same position very often, or our backs start hurting over time. Doing small little things, right? 5 to 10 minutes of stretching while you're even watching TV is still going to make a difference in your life because we want to make sure that people are living a healthier life.
100%, yes. And not just dentists, but everybody is rounded over.
Well, especially anybody working on a computer, right? A lot of different jobs now, we're sitting, we're not moving as much as we used to, and so trying to find a way to get movement, which I know yoga does a good job, but other ways to do it, it's just taking that step to start moving, get your body moving, right? So anything else that you want to add? Anything else that you think is important for people to know?
I think just, to reiterate, try it, give it a shot, start anywhere, even if it's, a moment of sitting on your living room floor or at work, taking, your coffee break or whatever moment you can to just sit back, stop what you're doing, sit tall and take a deep breath. And that's yoga. Even if you then can get into a little more physical and then start at a studio, just give it a shot. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna do a very short, all levels, all accessible yoga practice. Just very accessible postures that you can do at home, you can do at the office anytime. Again, just those few moments that you have to get the body moving, get the blood pumping and the heart going slightly. Great. So our first pose, you're gonna stand with your feet about hip distance apart, and you're gonna take your left arm up into the air, and you're gonna put your right hand down your right side and just reach over to the right as far as you can comfortably go. And you'll feel this nice long opening through the side of your body. And this is really great because it brings space in between the rib cage, so your intercostal muscles start to stretch and you're gonna breathe bigger in your day. And then we're gonna switch sides, so you're gonna bring your right arm up, and then you're gonna let your left hand slide down your left leg and reach as far as you can. And without any tension in the jaw, just try to stay relaxed in your face. But again, a deep breath through the right side. Feel almost like your breath is moving in just to the right lung. And then you can come back up. Perfect. And then you can keep your feet hip distance apart, and you're going to reach your arms straight out in front of you. And then feel like your legs are turning on as if you're sitting into a chair, but you don't actually have the chair. So nice and strong into your low body, your glutes, your low belly lifting in, and your shoulders pulling back, and weight into your heels. So you feel really warmed up through the low body and strong in the glutes. We get a lot of weakness in our glute muscles and our leg muscles from sitting all the time. So this is a great one to add in, and you can rise up. Perfect. How we feel
That's
so
good,
far?
yeah,
Good.
definitely.
So the next pose we're going to do is called a lunge. So you're just going to step your right foot forward and come high to your back toes and lift your back leg as high as you can. Perfect. And then you're really going to root down strong into your right heel and then lift your arms up as high as you can comfortably go. Some people put their hands at heart. If you can stretch the arms straight up, really great. And then you're just going to breathe. So the most important part is breath. Making sure you're feeling strong and long in your breathing pattern. Perfect. And then you're going to step your left foot forward, and then you're just going to switch sides because you want to find balance. So high to your right toes, and then arms up as you're ready. Perfect. And just again, you only go to where you can feel comfortable and strong in your postures and where you feel your breath flow. Maybe on this side you look up a little bit, find that space in the chest, the throat. Very nice work. And then you can step forward. And then the last pose we're going to do is really strong pose. Won't hold it for 5 minutes or anything, but it's our warrior pose. So you're going to turn to face this side of the room. Bring your right foot forward and your left foot way back again. And then you're going to drop your back foot flat and turn your foot to the side. And now extend your arms out wide like a T. And then you're going to lean your upper body back towards me a little bit. Perfect. And then this is the warrior pose, warrior 2. And it's a strong pose. It gives you lots of space through your chest, through your low back, powerful through the legs. And again, all that matters is that you're breathing. How the poses look don't matter. How you feel is all that matters. You're going to take one more breath. And then you're going to put your hands on your hips, straighten your right leg. And you're going to just switch sides. So you're going to turn the left toes towards me, your back toes up a little bit, and then do the same pose. Arms out wide, just the other side. Feeling that power through your back leg as well. And then you're going to lift your back arm just a little bit higher because it tends to drop when it disappears out of our sight. And again, a long breath. Perfection. And then you can straighten your front leg and you can bring your feet back together to touch. Arms beside you. We'll just take mountain pose for a deep breath. Feeling grounded. Great job.
Great. Thank you very much. That was great.